Okay, hopefully this is a little bit better. Hi guys, what's up? This is FalseBulls123 and welcome back to my channel. If you are currently listening to my voice, then you have started listening to my audiobook of Mark Z. Danielewski's House of Leaves. Sorry, I'm a little tired. It's either because I'm slightly depressed or because I spent too late last night reading SCP articles. Who can say? Probably both. The main reason why I want to do a video introduction is one, this is not going to be a normal audiobook. House of Leaves, for the uninitiated, is kind of a weird, non-linear type story, and that means that any way of interpreting it also needs to have that non-linearity to it. Is that the word? Non-linearity? So I hope that you enjoy, and when needed, I will be appearing to give appropriate context on how to get the most out of this story. Audio recording, whatever you really want to call it. Please enjoy. Chapter 0. House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. Cover and front matter.
Hello, this is FalseBulls123. It is currently May 8th, 2025, 2:36 p.m. at time of recording, and I am about to begin recording the audiobook House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. Before I begin, I would like to start with a visual description of the book itself. House of Leaves is a hardcover book, approximately 7 by 9 inches. It is around 709 pages thick, meaning that it is a pretty hefty book in and of itself. The front cover is slightly cut out to show off the photo collage on the next page. The cover page itself is black with an embossed labyrinth design. At the center is a compass rose that is gold and blood orange. The text reads, "The Remastered Full Color Edition. House of Leaves, Mark Z. Danielewski. A novel." The spine shows off the title, author, and name of the publishing company, Pantheon, as well as several photos of a colonial-style house or houses that are obstructed in the photography. The back cover seems to be mostly black, but in the bottom right-hand corner, it shows a man presumably filming himself using a camera reflected in a mirror of some kind. The text reads as follows. Fiction. Funny, moving, sexy, beautifully told, an elaborate engagement with the shape and meaning of narrative. The New York Times Book Review. A rollicking, psychonesque oddity, a Nabokovian linguistic obsession, and a Borgesian unreality. House of Leaves jumps and skips and plays with genre-wrecking abandon, postmodern panache, and an obsessive imaginative scope that absolutely shames most books in the market today. The San Francisco Examiner and Chronicle. One of the most ambitious, complicated, and eagerly anticipated literary debuts of the year, House of Leaves is like no other novel you've ever read. Newsweek. A love story by a semitician. Danielewski has a songwriter's heart as attuned to heartache as he is Derrida's theory on the sign. Time Out, New York. Listed below is the sigil for the band Poe, and the title Haunted, which refers to the companion album for the work. www.realpoe.com. Cover design by Eric Fantasia. Pantheon Books, New York. www.randomhouse.com. May 6, printed in the USA. Copyright 2000, Random House Inc. USA, $22, $29 Canadian. ISBN 978-0-375-70376-8. Barcode 978-0-375-703-768-52200. Inner jacket flap. $22 USA, $29 Canadian. Years ago, when House of Leaves was first being passed around, it was nothing more than a badly bundled heap of paper, parts of which would occasionally surface on the internet. No one could have anticipated the small but devoted following this terrifying story would soon command, starting with an odd assortment of marginalized youth, musicians, tattoo artists, programmers, strippers, environmentalists, and adrenaline junkies. The book eventually made its way into the hands of older generations, who not only found themselves in those strangely arranged pages, but also discovered a way back into the lives of their estranged children. Now, for the first time, this astonishing novel is made available in book form, complete with the original colored words, vertical footnotes, and newly added second and third appendices. The story remains unchanged, focusing on a young family that moves into a small home on Ash Tree Lane, where they discover something terribly wrong. Their house is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Of course, neither Pulitzer Prize-winning photojournalist Will Navidson nor his companion Karen Green was prepared to face the consequences of that impossibility, until the day their two little children wandered off and their voices eerily began to return another story, of creature darkness, of an ever-growing abyss behind a closet door, and of that unholy growl which soon enough would tear through their walls and consume all of their dreams. List of notable items in collage. Drawing of a staircase. Partial portion of a full-color comic page depicting the Navidson Report. A silver bullet. A laminated piece of paper with the word "red" on it. Various pills of unknown quality and effect. Tailor's tape. Geometric scribbles. A broken navigational compass attached to a multi-tool ruler. Obscured citations, typed and cut out. A broken saucer depicting a rabbit. A photo of a conceptual model of the house. A singed photo depicting a campfire at the bottom of a pit. A tangle of black string. A scrap of paper with a golden labyrinthian design and a centaur. A tape measure. Several postage stamps of American author Edgar Allan Poe. A strip of paper depicting ground air emergency codes. A matchbox with a swan on it. Pen and ink doodle on the margin of a book. Most importantly is a piece of typewritten paper listed as notes on chapter 12. It reads as follows. Perhaps I will alter the whole thing. Kill both children. Murder is a better word. Chad scrambling to escape, almost making it to the front door where Karen waits, until a corner in the foyer suddenly leaps forward and hews the boy in half. At the time Navidson is by the kitchen, reaches for Daisy. He arrives a fraction of a second too late, his fingers grabbing air, his eyes scratching after Daisy as she to her death. Let both parents experience the air narcissism, finds a new object to wither by. Imminent infanticide, drown them in blood. What follows is a series of critic reviews. Any hope or fear that the experimental novel was an aberration of the 20th century is dashed by the appearance of Mark Z. Danielewski's House of Leaves, the first major experimental novel of the new millennium, and it's a monster. Dazzling. The Washington Post Book World. An intricate, erudite, and deeply frightening book. The Wall Street Journal. A great novel, a phenomenal debut, thrillingly alive, sublimely creepy, distressingly scary, breathtakingly intelligent. It renders most of their fiction meaningless. One can imagine Thomas Pynchon, J.G. Ballard, Stephen King, and David Foster Wallace bowing at Danielewski's feet, choking with astonishment, surprise, laughter, and awe. Bret Easton Ellis. Its chills spark vertigo. Its erudition brings on dislocating giddiness. House of Leaves is dizzying in every respect. Entertainment Weekly. Stunning. What could have been a perfectly entertaining bit of literary horror is instead an assault on the nature of story. Spin. This demonically brilliant book is impossible to ignore, put down or persuasively conclude reading. In fact, when you purchase your copy, you may reach a certain page and find me there, reduced in size like Vincent Price in The Fly, still trapped in the web of its malicious, beautiful pages. Jonathan Lethem, author of Motherless Brooklyn. A tour de force first novel. It can keep you up at nights and make you never look at a closet in quite the same way again. Staggering good fun. Chicago Sun-Times. A novelistic mosaic that simultaneously reads like a thriller and like a strange dreamlike excursion into the subconscious. The New York Times. If you can imagine that Peter Pan's enemy is not Captain Hook, but Neverland itself, or that the whale that swallows Jonah is Moby Dick, you'll begin to appreciate what this book is about. Anticipate it with dread, seize, and understand. A riveting reading experience. Gregory Maguire, author of Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West. Grabs hold and won't let go. The reader races through the pages exactly as her mind races to find out what happens next. The Village Voice. Like Melville's Moby Dick, Joyce's Ulysses, and Nabokov's Pale Fire, Danielewski's House of Leaves is a grandly ambitious, multi-layered work that simply knocks your socks off with its vast scope, erudition, formal inventiveness, and sheer storytelling skills. Mark Z. Danielewski's House of Leaves by Zampano, with introduction and notes by Johnny Truant. Second edition, Pantheon Books, New York. Copyright 2000 by Mark Z. Danielewski. All rights reserved under international and Pan-American copyright conventions. Published in the United States by Pantheon Books, a division of Random House, Inc., and simultaneously in Canada by Random House of Canada Limited, Toronto. Pantheon Books and Colophone are registered trademarks of Random House, Inc. Permissions, acknowledgments, and illustrations credit appear on pages 707 and 708. Library of Congress Cataloging and Publication Data, Danielewski, Mark Z. House of Leaves, Mark Z. Danielewski. P.C.M. ISBN 0-375-70376-4. PBK. ISBN 0-375-42052-5 HC. ISBN 0-375-41034-1 HC signed. Title PS 3554.A5596H68 2000 813 single quote .54 M-DC21 99-36024 CIP. Random House web address www.randomhouse.com www.houseofleaves.com. Printed in the United States of America. First edition. 40, 39, 38, 37, 36.
This novel is a work of fiction. Any references to real people, events, establishments, organizations, or locales are intended only to give the fiction a sense of reality and authenticity. Other names, characters, and incidents are either the product of the author's imagination or are used fictitiously, as are those fictionalized events and incidents which involve real persons and did not occur or are set in the future. The Editors.
A note on this edition. Full color. The word house in blue and all short passages in red. The only shirk line in chapter 11 appears in purple. And color plates. Table of Contents. Forward. VII. Introduction. XI. The Navidson Record. Page 1. Exhibits 1 through 6. Page 529. Appendix. Zampano.
Page 537. A. Outlines and chapter titles, 538. B. Bits, page 541. C. And Pieces, page 548. D. Letter to the Editor, page 553. E. The Song of Quesada and Molino, page 555. And F. Poems, page 557. Appendix 2. Johnny Truant, page 567. A. Sketches and Polaroids, page 568. B. The Pelican Poems, pages 573. C. Collages, page 581. D. Obituary, pages 584. E. The Three Attic Whalestow Institute Letters, page 586. F. Various Quotes, page 645. Appendix 3. Contrary Evidence, page 657. Index, page 663. Credits, page 707. Yggdrasil, page 709.
The first edition of House of Leaves was privately distributed and did not contain Chapter 21, Appendix 2, Appendix 3, or the Index. Every effort has been made to provide appropriate translations and accurately credit all sources. If we have failed in this endeavor, we apologize in advance and will gladly correct in subsequent printings all errors or omissions brought to our attention. The Editors.
This is not for you.